How many cards do you have? Do you know in your collection?
Oh no,
Roughly? Yeah.
no clue.
Yeah.
I don't. When I very first got back into the hobby back in, what was it, 2017?
Yeah.
I started by buying singles, very specific singles, pre-war singles, tobacco card singles. And then I started when I saw YouTube and saw that people were making card rip videos on it. That's when I started buying more modern, and ripping stuff. But I don't really do that anymore. Maybe a couple times a year, I'll buy a couple blaster boxes. Just because for me, for my dollar, I want the cards that I want. So like, I'd rather just go buy the card that I want. Yeah, it's a lot. I need to try to not downsize, but I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of prioritize and refocus my collecting. I get off on too many things and whatever. I actually have a big box of cards packed up that I'm about to send for consignment just to see, just try the waters. Nothing crazy. But a bunch of, $5 to $25 cards and just see how much we can get doing that. And then, to try to build up for a dream card, maybe. So, but it's a lot of cards. It's a whole lot.
It'll finance your trip to Europe.
Yeah, not my cards. But it might finance my trip to Alabama, which is across the border. I'm not. Anyway, but yeah. Now, what about you? How many cards do you have?
Well, I got rid of all my cards I had when I was a kid, and then I started back up with my kids again during COVID, like in early 21. So I realized after a while that holy shit, I'm buying a lot of cards. So I've done that whole, refocus, reprioritizing thing once, but I think I'm about to have to do it again because I just keep adding. There are so many beautiful cards. I mean, it's a bit like, to me, it's like, it's a bit like a work of art on a small piece, on a small canvas, right? So
for sure.
There are so many pretty, beautiful, cool things that it just makes me happy to hold it and look at it, and then I want it, and then I stick it in a box, and then I don't look at it again for a year. So that's the problem. Maybe to try to focus to keep cards on a level where you actually look at them sometimes, at least, and not just have numbers.
No, I do. I will tell you, I have, so my card room, I keep displayed, and I used to have it before the little boy came along. First little boy, I mean, I had it looked like people would walk in and just say it was like a museum curation, because I had every square inch of this room where there was a displayable square inch, there was a card on the pedestal. And I do still have that to a degree, but anything down low is no longer cards. It's stuff that's still displayable, but like, I don't want the kids to get into. But no, I definitely do display a decent amount of them, and I kind of rotate out what I display. But no, because I'm like you, man. I love looking at them, especially the vintage ones. Oh my gosh, some of that stuff is, and that's why we really should collect with our eyes, right? Like, so for example, not every card's going to be a winner. Some cards, just because, so whatever. I'll show this again because you were mentioning art, and this literally is a portrait card, right? An art card. So that one to me is beautiful. But what was it they did? Was it 2 years ago where they were in costume and it was just the most ridiculous looking crap I've ever seen in my life?
Yeah, they were dressed like European noblemen from the Middle Ages.
Silly stuff. And there's, baseball does that too. They used to have a product. I don't think they do it anymore, called Topps Gallery, which was the same thing. It was literally art. Some of them were pretty beautiful. Some of them were like your 3-year-old drew it, and somehow it like just horrible stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
some of them were like offensive. If I was the player, I would consider a lawsuit. Like, you're a professional and you're putting this image of me out. I don't think so. Like, and so, anyway, like, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, man, the really, and that's kind of more to what you're talking about. Young Guns cards. It's not like there's anything special about the images. You know, the Young Guns I'm a sucker for canvas cards. I love a lot
Canvas
of
cards.
a new one out now. The Joseph Wall Young Guns canvas cards is one of the most beautiful cards I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And you just go look it up if you want to see it. I don't have it. It's a little more money than I want to pay for it, but I'll wait till it goes down and I'll snag it. But it's just a freaking beautiful card.
But they do. I predict saves like the best of the more eccentric photography for the canvas cards, not just the Young Guns canvas, but the regular canvas cards. And the regular canvas cards are like $1 cards, and there's some amazing photography. Not all of them, but many of them have some amazing photography. That is art, absolutely.
And I pick up a lot of canvas cards, just, you know, $1 here, 50 cents there, whatever, just because of that. Even if it's players I don't collect, because they're such nice looking cards. You know, and we could go on and on and on about collecting but I do wonder this, and maybe this is a topic for another time. The availability of cards to me in America versus you in Sweden. I wonder on a larger scale how that affects our collecting. And what I mean by that is, someone here, I can get anything I want, anytime I want, basically with a click of a button, if I had the financial whatever. And even with singles, right? Like, I could go to eBay and buy every single I wanted to. No problem. But I have a hunch it's not like that in Europe, or it's way more expensive in Europe. And in other countries. So, like, you know, for me, you know, and maybe here in America, like we do with everything, we hoard and we are gluttons and for food and for everything. Well, we're gluttons for cards, right? And we have all these people who buy all these cards, and the availability can lead some people. I mean, you see all the time people going broke buying cards because they're so easy to get. And you know, I was chatting in the YouTube comments with a collector yesterday, even who lives in England, and was talking about just, it's not as easy and it's way more expensive to get stuff there. So I'm kind of wondering how that might play into it.
Well, it depends on where in Europe you are, I think. So Sweden, Finland, who are big hockey nations, there are several stores who sell all the new releases. We have in Sweden, I think it's one of only 2 of Upper Deck's triple diamond dealers in Europe is in Sweden.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they have, and there are more stores as well. They have everything, all the new releases, and they also import some older ones as well. Same thing with, I mean, if you want like soccer, because we're big on soccer over here. Baseball, NFL, things like that are harder. Not so many people watching it, so a bit less. I'd imagine if you're in the UK, you'd have a very big problem finding a retailer for hockey, because hockey is not very big in the UK. In terms of singles, I mean, there are eBay like marketplaces over here as well, with tons of singles, but not the millions of singles that are on eBay. So let's say there are so for the more common releases, you can get just about anything of the newer ones. For older things and more rare releases, it's harder. So I know a lot of collectors who can't find you can't find a lot of stuff here, but you can't find everything. So for collectors who want that, they typically buy from Check Out My Cards or from eBay and have it sent here. So You have to live with shipping costs and customs fees and things for important things from outside the European Union. But if we look at prices for new releases, they're typically slightly cheaper here than in the US,
Oh, wow.
actually.
Okay.
However, in the US, they typically you sell them for as much as you think you can get. So they're a bit more expensive in the US than in Sweden. But then after a while, when it doesn't sell, you lower the price, and sometimes you lower the price a lot of all the releases. I mean, there are releases that are like less than selling for like 40% of the release day price, right? And that typically doesn't happen in Sweden. Maybe it drops like 10% or something, or 20%, but not more than that. So older releases way cheaper in the US, new releases a bit cheaper over here.
I've noticed here that doesn't happen as much as it used to, even just a few years ago. And I have a sneaking suspicion. Now, this is just me burying my money burying my gold in the backyard, right? No one knows where it is. This may sound conspiracy theorist, but so I'll just take Walmart, for example. Do you guys have Walmart there?
Nope.
Okay. You don't want them. Walmart's not. I don't picture Walmart in Sweden unless you guys have stores there where you can go barefoot and in pajama bottoms and barely dressed and hungover and you haven't slept in weeks and you're on meth. That's Walmart here. But they do sell. They're a retail place that sells cards. There's usually only got a couple options for retail.
Yeah.
And so what they used to do, even back just a few years ago, is you'd go in there. Now, Walmart does not stock the cards. It's an outside company. It's an outside party that comes in. They bring the cards. They stock the cards. When they deem that they're done, they take them back.
Yeah.
And what they used to do, though, is they would come in, and after the release had been on the shelf for a while, they'd clearance tag it. And put like really low, like half price, and then sometimes really low prices. So like a blaster box that would have been $20 is maybe now $5.
Yeah.
But then when the boom happened and it became, people were literally stabbing and shooting people and getting in fights in Walmarts back during the boom because you'd have these people literally camped out waiting on that vendor to come stock the shelves. Yeah. And they would grab everything and then try to sell it on. Crazy stuff. To the point where like Target retailers quit carrying cards for a while because of the violence it was leading to here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what has also come is the rise of the what do you even call them? The garbage, and I mean literal garbage, like repack boxes that are in retail. And so like that. And I don't even know if this is a thing there, but what they'll do is they'll sell a little box for like, on the cheap end, like $5 or $6. And literally all it is junk wax commons. Like you won't even find a star player in there.
Yeah.
You might as well just throw it away. But now you see more and more of those type products and they come out. And so my kind of suspicion is what you see less of is the markdowns at Walmart. They will still mark stuff down. Now, again, I'm not an expert because I don't go into Walmart a lot, almost never. But, you might see something on clearance from 2 years ago that's maybe $5 off or $10 off of what it was, but not that crazy markdown. I'm wondering if those same companies, if that vendor that's MJ Holdings, I think still, is less interested in marking stuff down and more interested in bringing it back and making repack boxes because they do make those and reselling those for more money.
And if they actually hit a good card when they're opening the blasters to repack, they'll sell that on eBay instead and cash in that way. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, all these repacking. So going to be careful with my words here because there are, of course, people who appreciate base cards and who are collecting on a very, very tight budget.
Yes.
but who enjoys opening packs. So
Sure.
if you can go and buy like a pack of base cards for like $2 somewhere,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
maybe they find enjoyment in that. So that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, collect whatever you want, however you want, for whatever budget you have. I mean, that's fantastic. But in general, there is no need. There is no actual need for these repacking businesses because the cards are already packed. You already have a mystery box of cards. Why do you
Mhm.
need someone to open that and then pack them in another box and sell it as a mystery pack of cards? It's
Yeah.
stupid. It's stupid.
Yep.
So the only reason to do that is to make sure that you resell at low cost cards that you couldn't sell otherwise because it's
Mhm.
only base, there's no star players, and you sell all the hits on eBay instead.
Yep.
So I mean it's yeah, I don't get it. I
Well, and I
don't
will
get
say
it at
this.
all.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, and I'll say this too. So yeah, and like you, I'm not knocking people that buy them at all. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I've bought plenty of them myself before, right? Sometimes you just
Yeah.
get the urge. So I'm not knocking that at all. But I guess what I'm saying is it has changed since that COVID boom.
Yeah.
Because before COVID, and there's plenty of YouTube videos to verify this, that the Fairfield company that would do these repacks did actually used to have some big cards like base rookies, but like crazy base rookies, like even the star player base rookies would be
Yeah.
randomly in these things.
Yeah.
And there was one of the big boy YouTubers even figured out which product had like a bunch of Bryce Harper, I'll use a baseball example, rookie cards in it, knew exactly which box to go after from Fairfield. You know, these boxes are $5 at a Walgreens.
Yeah.
He knew which ones to open up and get these big boy cards. I saw one time a person pull a Mike Trout rookie card out of an old Fairfield box.
Yeah.
You know, and that's $1,000 card. Pulled it out of a $5
Yeah.
box. Yeah. So I think back then it was a little different. I'm talking about kind of that greed that they noticed after COVID and after that big boom, because, you know, I run a Walgreens. We even sell that kind of stuff, right? As a company, we do.
Yeah.
And it just, some of the products I see out there are just like, it's almost laughable. Like that the company that packaged that product, it almost seems, what's the word I'm looking for? It almost seems immoral because they're selling this pack and knowing there's nothing in there, nothing. And, you know, even the star players, because again, it's all stuff that's so overprinted, it's insane, you know, that, you know, and again, if they sell the pack like that for $1 or $2, okay, that's fine. But, you know, to sell a pack like that for $14, you know, whatever they go for now, come on, man. You know, and on that point, and this is the last, because I know we've been going forever about this, but I could also talk about cards forever. I went down a rabbit hole, man, and I don't know if y'all did y'all ever have, we used to call it, or it used to be, we still have it, it's QVC or shop at home, or you would watch television. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
What, you know, before the internet and all that stuff, you'd stay up late at night, you'd watch TV. Well, they used to do baseball cards back in the junk wax that are just post on the mid 90s here. And you'd have these guys and they're hawking these sets of cards. But there was a guy named Don West, who was the greatest salesman you'll ever see. I need to send you some videos of his. He was so good. He ended up working in the wrestling industry as like a manager and like, that's how good he was. But just the overblown, just, you know, it's just the stuff that he would say would be so hilarious, trying to hawk these cards live on TV to people. And I used to prank call sometimes when I was in high school.
Oh, really?
I'd prank call these QVC places, and either I'd get a few beverages in me, and like we'd call, like if it was a kitchen, you know, people would be selling kitchen equipment, I would call them and start asking the operator, but I would it would be like Urban Dictionary random sexual stuff, but I would attribute that to the name of a kitchen appliance. So I would say, hey, listen, in this set, does this come with and I'd make something up, whatever, that I won't say here. But But they would hook, line, and sinker, man. They'd sit down and say, "Oh, what is that? I've never heard of that." And they start trying to look it up and see if it's in the set. And I would call like the baseball card people and ask for like a buddy of mine's rookie card. But I'd make it seem like he was a big up and coming player and like, listen, I'll buy a bunch of these right now, but I need to know that there is a John Turner rookie card. You know what I'm saying? We used to do stuff like that. But what I was interested in was, you watch these old videos and it's all junk wax, right? And it's, whatever. A lot of them were like, oh, well, you get 20 full complete sets of cards, but it was all from like 91 and 88 and all this stuff. And, and it's only going to cost you $100. Well, today you could buy each of those from whatever. But what I was interested in is there was some stuff, though, as it got later on in the 90s that it's like, oh, now I wonder that might actually be worth a lot more than they sold it for back then. So I guess what I'm getting at is the promises made, like how do you sleep at night knowing you're selling these people these cards that are worth nothing for this money? But there was some stuff, and I looked it up on eBay even. Like I would watch these videos because they're entertaining, and it reminds me of my youth. And I would watch these videos like, man, I bet that might actually be worth some stuff. And would look it up on eBay, and it's like, holy crap, yeah, these are legitimate. Like if you had invested in this and bought this back then when they were hawking this stuff, this is actually worth a good deal of money. I found that interesting. But I will send you. Yeah. I'll send you a couple of Don West videos to watch, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just he was a legend. He passed away 2 years ago. I want to say about 2 years ago. And but it's fantastic. You got to watch it. But just that carnival barking salesman, they just to the extreme. And anyway, I'll send you a couple of videos.
David, maybe you could explain to our European listeners then the difference between Walmart and Target, because two major, huge retailers.
Major difference. Yes.
Major difference. Huge retailers, both of them. Lots of stores everywhere. Lots of stuff in the stores. So, what's the difference?
So, Walmart is way cheaper. Way cheaper. Walmart. And I work in retail too, right? And have for 26 years now. So I kind of understand how things go. Like we are way more expensive than Walmart. Like Walmart is a great place to find value, especially for food, stuff like that. Now, the problem with Walmart is like produce and meat and stuff like that. It's not good. You know what I'm saying? You buy fruit from Walmart, it might rot in 2 days. So it's not great quality. But like if you're just talking about stuff like your everyday staples, your pantry stuff, a bag of chips or whatever, a lot of people do. And they have, I want to say they were kind of the first ones here to introduce the whole, like they'll deliver your groceries to your door. They'll, you can just pull up in a parking spot and not have to go in because there's always a trillion people at Walmart. Like it's huge. It is the size of a massive warehouse. I mean, it's enormous. Yeah. But you do get a lot of the interesting elements of society that go into Walmart. And the funny thing is like people have here what's called like Walmart feet because a lot of people just don't wear shoes in there. Like it's very gross. It's very gross. And you get people going in there in pajamas and you get, it's stereotypical stuff. And I'm certainly, because my wife gets stuff at Walmart, we get, pantry stuff from Walmart too. And because it is really cheap. And then, in today's market, it's, you save some money where you can, right? So I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying like, it's good people watching. Hell, you can get on YouTube and watch videos of all these fights and brawls at Walmarts and stuff like that.
I think there is actually a site called People of Walmart.com with just photos of people at Walmart, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's the kind of stuff you get there. Target is much more, it's more expensive, but it's also more, I don't want to say upscale because it's not really, but it is. At least there's that perception of it, right? It's a little bit cleaner of a place. But it is more expensive. But the reality is if you took the people equation out of it, you're much better values. Like you'd be much better off going to a Walmart and getting stuff. It's just, I can't stand Walmart. But they do offer goods. My wife will get, and we have a Walmart really close to our house. So, I mean, she'll order, like if we need a couple things from the grocery I mean, that's really all we ever get from there is
and
certain
it's
grocery things, but.
and both Walmart and Target are like huge stores that have everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They I mean, everything from, I mean, Walmart's got, you can go get your tires rotated, get an oil change, get, things like that while you're buying a dress and jewelry and all the food you can imagine and baseball cards. They have that. Target, not to the same extreme, but Target also has, food, but nowhere near the scale of Walmart. And they have, a lot of just sundry items and makeup and clothes and stuff like that. Target, nowhere near to the scale of Walmart, but yeah, they're both interesting places that I try to avoid, as they're both always very, very crowded. And but if you wanted retail, I mean, if you want retail ball cards, that's where you have to go. Now, Walgreens started carrying them more. But the bottom line is we're way overpriced. We rarely get stuff that anybody would want. I mean, it's a lot of flagship, but I mean, you can get it cheaper at Walmart, and you can get, once in a great blue moon, we would used to get like product that I really loved, like Stadium Club Chrome and stuff. And none of our customers ever saw that because I'd buy them all. So you got me.